And now,
breaking news.
Ahoy, the news.
News
From the Weird Wire.
News from the Weird Wire. It's a crazy story here. Imagine if instead of being left home alone, Kevin McAllister decided to hop on top of the roof of the family's car on the way to the airport. Well, that's essentially what Ray Ray, the cat, did. CBS News Pittsburgh tells that the Denardo family of Kittanning, Pennsylvania, had left their house for a road trip to New York City with a stop in New Hampshire. Ray Ray had apparently no interest in meeting his sister and, unbeknownst to the human family, hitched a ride on top of their car.
Can you imagine you're driving down the interstate there in Pennsylvania and you come across a vehicle with a cat sitting on the top?
Well, I'm just thinking, was there other stuff up there? It's like, wouldn't other people like, dude, you got a cat on your car? I'm thinking it was like family vacation. They had some luggage up there, some bed frame or something.
Who's going to have a bed frame on the top of their car going on a vacation?
I picture a station wagon from the late 70s, early 80s.
When was the last time you've seen a luggage rack being used?
Whether it was his cat-like reflexes or just a blessing of good luck, Ray Ray remained on the car roof without incident for 100 miles. Before he was finally discovered, my husband gets out of the car and obviously to pump the gas and is like, the cat is on the roof, says Mara Denardo. We're like, what do we do? Well, we're already so far into the trip, and we have a long way to go to get to New Hampshire. So my husband said, just going to have to go with. So the Denardos went about their vacation as planned, now with a furry companion alongside. He had such a good time and a great adventure, Mara says.
How do you know that, Mara?
Right. He was meowing and wagging his tail. A woman's conscience finally caught up with her after stealing a Greek artifact some 60 years ago. According to a Facebook post from Greece's Ministry of Culture, the woman had illegally taken a limestone fragment from the Linodion on ancient Olympia back in the 1960s. And has kept it ever since. However, in a show of what the post calls sensitivity and courage from the woman, she decided to return it so it can be reparated. This is a particularly moving moment, says Secretary General of Culture George Didaskalalou.
Common spelling on that, by the way.
This act proves that culture and history know no borders, but require cooperation, responsibility, and mutual respect.
No, she stole some stuff 60 years ago.
So she didn't go to jail?
How about you just don't steal artifacts from the museum?
We sure have been in Rome a lot. Here's another. Routine yard work uncovers a 19-year-old Roman artifact. When in Rome, do as Romans do, and when in New Orleans, be on the lookout for lost Roman artifacts. Oh, I didn't know. Did you? Second one might not actually be a saying, but it turned out to be true for Daniela Santoro, who found a 1900-year-old Roman grave marker while clearing out the backyard of her New Orleans home.
Has his backyard never been cleaned before?
Right? Did it used to be in the ocean or something? The fact that it was in Latin, that really just gave us a pause, right? She tells the Associated Press. I mean, you see something like that and you say, okay, this is not an ordinary thing. Santoro, who's an anthropologist at Tulane University, showed the slab to a colleague in the classical archaeological department who verified its authenticity. When I first saw the image that Daniela sent me, it really did send a shiver up my spine because I was just floored. Says Susan Luznia, As it turns out, the marker, which honors a sailor named, let me take a stab at Sextus Congenius
I took Latin once.
Verus.
Sure.
I nailed it. Had originally been kept by the National Archaeological Museum in Civitavecchia, Italy, but was lost among many other artifacts in World War II. As for how it made its way to New Orleans, it was given to the home's prior owner, Aaron Scott O'Brien, by her grandparents, who were stationed in Italy during the war. O'Brien recognized the slab when she saw a local news report on the discovery. None of us knew what it was, O'Brien says. We were watching the video just like in shock.
So there are so many questions that come up with
Right?
this story. Here is a woman who has owned a piece of property for a while.
Okay.
She is in the anthropology department at a university.
Mm-hmm.
She's never cleaned up this section of the property, evidently.
Right.
Come to find out that it's 1,900 years old.
Crazy.
And it turns out that it was not the gravesite. Just the marker, which had been moved from Italy in the war.
You think
What
about
the
it.
hell was it doing there? Just sitting on the ground underneath a tree?
Yeah. I mean, you think about it. They're like, this will throw people for a loop 50, 60 years from now. How did a 1,900-year-old Italian tombstone get
End
here?
up in New Orleans.
Right. And it did. Created quite a ruckus. So, like,
Clean your property out, people.
well, does it have to go back? Like, shouldn't it go back to Italy? It's a grave marker for some person. I mean, it's been quite a while.
Evidently, no one's looking for this person.
You'd think there'd be some antiquities or somebody is saying, hey, that's ours. Send it back.
Well, now I kind of want to Google Sextus Congenius Verus and see who this dude was. He was a sailor.
It was the original Popeye. He was a sailor.
And of course, the only thing I'm going to find is that somebody in New Orleans found his gravesite.
Well, that, my friends, is news from the Weird Wire.